In 1923, some of the richest and most successful businessmen in America gathered at a hotel in Chicago. Together, they controlled more wealth than the entire United States government at the time. They had everything people dream about: money, power, success. But just 25 years later, their stories looked completely different. One died bankrupt, another lost his fortune, others faced financial ruin. These people were not stupid. They were not poor because they lacked intelligence. They knew how to make money, but they failed at something much more important. They failed to understand the psychology behind money. This story may not be historically accurate in every detail, but the lesson behind it is timeless. And that is the main idea behind Morgan Housel's best-selling book, The Psychology of Money. Money is not only about mathematics, spreadsheets, and knowing the right investments. It's about human behavior. It's about fear, greed, patience, and the decisions we make when emotions take control. In this video, we will explore 4 powerful lessons from this book that can completely change the way you think about wealth, investing, and financial success. Because becoming wealthy is not just about earning more money, it's about learning how to think differently about it. Nobody's crazy. Everyone has their own money story. Have you ever seen someone make a financial decision that made absolutely no sense to you? Maybe someone spends thousands of dollars every year on expensive clothes but has no savings. Maybe someone refuses to invest because they are afraid of losing money. Maybe someone takes huge risks because they believe they will always succeed. It's easy to look at these decisions and think, that person is being irrational. But Morgan Housel explains that most people are not irrational. They're simply making decisions based on their own experiences. Imagine 2 people. The first person grows up in a family where money was always available. Their parents invested, businesses succeeded, and opportunities seemed everywhere. The second person grows up watching their parents struggle financially. They see people lose jobs, businesses fail, and investments disappear. Now, imagine giving both people the same amount of money and asking them what to do with it. Would they make the same choice? Probably not. The first person might see investing as an opportunity. The second person might see it as a dangerous risk. Who is right? The answer depends on their experiences. Our relationship with money is built over years. It is shaped by where we grew up, what we witnessed, and what happened to the people around us. This is why personal finance is so personal. There is no single financial rule that works perfectly for everyone. Understanding this changes the way we see money. Instead of asking, why is this person making such a bad decision, we should ask, what experiences made them believe this was the right decision? Because behind every financial choice, there is a story. Success is a combination of skill, luck, and risk. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that success is always completely earned. When someone becomes extremely successful, we often assume they must be smarter, harder working, or more talented than everyone else. Sometimes that's true, but it's not the whole story. Luck and risk play a much bigger role than most people admit. Take Warren Buffett. Nobody can deny that Buffett is one of the greatest investors in history. He's incredibly disciplined, patient, and intelligent. But Buffett himself has acknowledged that timing played an important role in his success. He was born in the right country, at the right time, with access to opportunities that many people never had. Bill Gates is another example. He is one of the smartest entrepreneurs in history. But he also happened to attend one of the few schools in the world that had access to a computer during his childhood. That opportunity was extremely rare. Will Gates have still been successful without it? Maybe, but that single lucky event dramatically increased his chances. The same principle applies to failure. Sometimes people fail not because they lacked ability. They simply faced bad timing, unexpected events, or circumstances outside their control. Understanding luck and risk teaches us two important lessons. First, stay humble when you succeed. You probably worked hard, but you also benefited from opportunities you didn't create yourself. Second, don't judge people too quickly when they fail. Their result may not tell the whole story. The smartest people understand that life is not a perfect equation. Success is often a combination of preparation meeting opportunity. The secret behind wealth is time. Most people think becoming wealthy requires finding the perfect investment. They search for the next big company, the next stock that will multiply 10 times, the secret opportunity that everyone else missed. But one of the greatest lessons from the psychology of money is that wealth is usually built much more slowly, through time. Warren Buffett is the perfect example. Today, he is one of the richest people in the world. But what many people don't realize is that the majority of his wealth came after his 50s. Why? Because of compounding. Compounding is one of the most powerful forces in finance. It happens when your money generates returns, and those returns generate more returns. At the beginning, it feels disappointing. Your investments grow slowly. You might think, is this even working? But after enough time, something changes. The growth starts building on itself. A small amount becomes larger. Then that larger amount creates even more growth. It is like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it barely moves. But the longer it rolls, the bigger and faster it becomes. The problem is that humans are naturally impatient. We want results immediately. We want to become rich quickly. But wealth creation is usually boring. It requires consistency, discipline, and the ability to wait. The people who win are often not the ones making the most exciting decisions. They are the ones who stay invested long enough for time to work in their favor. The hardest financial skill, knowing when enough is enough. There is a dangerous trap that affects many successful people. They achieve their goals, they become wealthy, they have more than enough, but they continue chasing more. Why? Because there is no finish line. There is always someone richer. There is always a bigger house, a more expensive car, a higher number in your bank account. Morgan Housel explains that one of the hardest financial skills is knowing when you have enough. Because if you don't know what enough means, you can risk everything trying to get more. A person who has $10 million and wants 20 million might take enormous risks. A person who has 20 million might want 50 million. The number keeps changing, and the finish line keeps moving. Real wealth is not just about having money, it's about having freedom. The freedom to choose how you spend your time. The freedom to walk away from situations you don't accept. The freedom to live without constant financial stress. Many people spend their entire lives trying to buy things that they believe will make them happy. But often, the greatest thing money can buy is not a luxury item, it's independence. Knowing when you have enough protects everything you have already built. Because sometimes the smartest financial decision is simply refusing to risk what matters most. The biggest lesson from the psychology of money is simple. Money success is not only about what you know, it's about how you behave. Everyone has a different money story. Luck and risk influence every person's journey. Time is one of the greatest advantages an investor can have. And true wealth comes from knowing what is enough. You don't need to be the smartest person in the room. You don't need to predict every market movement. You don't need to get rich overnight. You need patience, discipline, and the ability to make decisions that your future self will appreciate. Because, in the end, money is not just about buying things. It's about building a life where money gives you choices, and learning to control your behavior may be the most valuable investment you ever make.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more timeless lessons from the world's greatest investing and business books, consider subscribing. Until the next time, invest wisely, stay patient, and never stop learning.